Hey everyone, how you doing? Today is July 24th. Wanted to show you guys my nuke mating yard and go through a couple of these colonies before I move them to their new location that I'm setting up over the weekend. A little background on these nukes. I made all these nukes up with grafted queen cells from a breeder queen of mine that I thought had all the gentle genetics and the honey production, no swarming. I made up a bunch of splits, left them queenless, cut out all their emergency cells, and then on the 16th of June, I believe, I went ahead and added queen cells in all these mating nukes. I've been feeding them. They've been building up okay. I've been in them once. They lost a lot of the initial population from the frames of brood that I had put these in. These were just one frame of brood or two frame of brood with one food and then some nice foundation frames for them to work on. I've fed them multiple times, and it looks like on July 2nd, I went through them and they were all queen right. I grafted 25 cells. I ended up with 23 cells that took. One cup fell off my bar, so really 23 out of 24. And the other, so then I made up 18 nukes. I use a queen castles also. I have 14 here. I made up all my nukes, and out of the 18 that I had made up, I had 3 misses. So I ended up with 15 nucleus colonies, and I'm just building them up here. They all came back nice, and queens were mated. So let's go ahead and go through a couple of them. All right, so let's go through some of these nucleus colonies, see how they're looking. And really the only thing I'm looking for is population, food stores, and I need a viable queen. There's no sense in moving these to a new yard if I have no queen. So I'm going to try to get right to the center of these nests and take a peek. And right away I can tell we definitely have a queen, and she's got a good brood pattern. You can see there. She's definitely laying pretty good for a new queen. They got to draw out some more on this frame, but once they start hatching out, they'll be all right. So this hive I'm going to close up. I noticed I had good amount of food, good brood frames, so I'm done here. I'm going to come back through and feed all these too before I leave. I'm picking them up on Sunday morning. All right, checking out another one. See what we got here. Good amount of bees. Always scan for your queen on the top lid. I don't use inner covers, so definitely have to do that. Again, I'm just going to go right into the middle. Make sure I got a good brood pattern and food, and I'm out of here. Yep, this is all filled up with eggs. And same thing on this side. I don't know if the camera be able to pick this up. I got tons of milk brood in there. Stores in the top. They look good. And I can tell, I can look down in there and see they got 2 other frames here full of brood and food. Nothing better than seeing a new queen that just got mated and come back and build up our own hive. All right, let's check some of these. Dead. Queen right on 7-4. And I have nothing. And that's just beekeeping. You run into problems with everything. You could tell this is, not only is this wax moth damage in the center, but it's been robbed out. They have nothing left in here. You can actually see the little larva from wax moth, and you can smell it. And I don't know what happened in this hive. They were too small and got robbed out, but I have a queen right here, and she does not look mated. So I'm not sure what happened here. But unfortunately, I have to just kill her, throw her out. And then these bees here, I'll just shake off to the side. And all this comb, I'll use all this comb. This is good comb here. So I can use this when I transfer these over to the 10 frame boxes. Comb's all perfect. I'm just really not sure what happened. And actually, if you guys want to see some nasty stuff, show you here. So I'm not sure what all this is, but it's a whole lot of maggots. And that's just beekeeping. You run into things, you just gotta brush it off and keep going. All right, this one's looking a little bit better. If I can get in here. Again, just checking to make sure I got a good brood pattern and stores population. So she's came back through and laid up this frame. This frame already hatched out. You can see some brood there. And here we go. Here's a little bit better frame here. Yeah, she's starting to pick up her laying. Hive's good. Close it up. On this lid, it says all black queen. This will be a fun one to find. Not as many bees in this one. Good pollen frame. Little patch of brood at the bottom. Oh yeah, she's got this all laid up. The black queens are real hard to find. I don't mark any of my queens. I probably should so I can see them better, especially for the way I manage them in the spring. This is a really good frame too for the newer beekeeper. I'm going to show you this. There's a lot of white fuzzy bees. All those white fuzzy bees are going to be your freshly hatched younger bees compared to the darker worker forager bees. Oh, and there's the queen right here. You can see her or not. If I can get that in the camera. Yeah, she's pretty. Right there on the side of the frame. She is black. All right, so this one's good. Now this frame right here, this frame is just partially drawn. So I'm just going to go over and that hive I just had. With that little bit of wax moth damage. I'll go ahead and put that right here in between this hive, in between these frames. And those bees will clean that up and police that frame. And then they also don't have to draw out this frame just to help them out a little bit. All right, checking another one. Ooh. This one's got some bees in it. You know, it's funny when you make a bunch of splits how some are stronger than others, even though you made them up the same exact way. You know, it's probably got to be drift. Just and I guess the age of the bees that you get in the original box when you make the split also. So this is just a shiny sugar water frame, nectar, whatever you want to call it. It's a good looking hive here. I hope she's got a good pattern. Oh yeah, she's got this all laid out. They've already went through a brood cycle also. Dang, bees are quick, man. Yep. There she is. Tiger stripe. You know, it's also really crazy. All these grafts came from the same queen. And the queen that I grafted from, she was totally, completely dark, a black queen, solid black queen. But when you come back to check on your queens for being mated or hatched or whatnot, you know, it's crazy the amount of colors you get when they come back from being mated, which just goes to tell you how much the drones do, you know, influence on the, or do matter on the genetics. Because like I said, that queen was completely black that I grafted from, and some of these are black and some are Italian, some are mixed. It's crazy. This doesn't look good. Nope. Another dead out. Oh, these wax moth. You want to know what wax moth damage is? There you go. We got in there quick. Starved. Take this home and clean this out too. All right, so we are moving along. We lost two. But the ones that did make it, they look good. I probably should have been feeding a little bit more, but I mean, when you got 3 kids, full-time job as a lineman, it's hard to get out all the time. I can tell you right now, this brood pattern looks good. Yeah. Yep, they got food. Good brood pattern. Leave these ones alone. This hive looks strong. Let's see what they look like. Oh, yeah. I wish all my nucs looked like this, especially ones that I installed grafts into. And really, if I wasn't recording these videos, I can look down and see that this is a cat brood frame right here. But pick it up, take a look. Okay, so I got my food over here. Brood, same thing. Cat brood and food. And there is a bunch of bees down in there. These hives were all treated with oxalic acid about 2 weeks after I moved them over here, once they went broodless, before I installed my queen cells. I don't like really treating them when they're giving them a queen cell or trying to wait on a mated queen to come back. So they should be low with mites. If not, there should be no mites. Checking this hive. Another good brood pattern. Plenty of food. Good to go. And the last hive. See what we got here. If this one has a good brood pattern and stores and population, I've lost 2, so I'll end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 that I will move out of here this weekend. Get them set up. Oh, plenty of food. And plenty of brood, plenty of eggs. I got pollen. Really all I need to see. Check one more, take a look at her. It's a fresh frame I stuck in the middle. Just barely working on that. Drew that side out pretty well. Let me get these closed up, get some feed on these hives, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got everybody fed. Ended up with 11 out of the 14. I had 2 misses. The other one, I guess, that was a queen issue I had. I caught on the first round. I checked them. So that was the second time that I went through these colonies. And that's why I like to go through them just one more time before I go ahead and move them, because if I would have moved those 2, I would have never known that one had wax moth damage and nasty maggots in the bottom. And then 2, the other hive was just a abscond. There was just a queen. They must have starved out, or I'm not sure. That's beekeeping. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But that's why you always, if you want 10, you better make 15. you want 20, you better make 40. You just never know. So the next thing I'm going to do is go get my center blocks from Lowe's, set that yard up and weed whack it all down, and I'll be back here over the weekend to close these up and move them over there. So I'm at my new bee yard. All the hives are going to be set up right along this road right here. The owner, he put a access road in here for me, which is awesome. Right here on a right of way. So I got to knock down all of this grass here and put my center blocks up here for my hive stands. I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm done. All right, I'm done with this yard. Got all the grass knocked down and brush pushed back. Got myself a nice clearing behind the hives where I'll be able to walk through, no brush. I also tried something a little different this year, and my spacing is going to be wider than my normal yards that I use my 4x4s. I'm going to see if that helps out with some of the drift I was getting during the nectar flow and everything else. This is a really nice location here because, one, I have truck access, which the owner put this road in here for me. Two, no one will ever be back here. The hives are hidden. I'm on a right of way, and I have on the other side of this cattle pasture, right over here is a pond. So they'll have a water source. They're backed up to the woods, help them with their wind, and that's it. Now I'm just waiting. Tonight I'll go over and close up the nucs and bring them all over here. This property back here is perfect location. So it's a little after 8 o'clock, the same day that I set up my new yard and stands. Most of the foragers have already come in for the night. So I'm just gonna put on all my screens, staple those down, and plug up the feeder holes and get these loaded up and move them tomorrow morning. All right, I managed to get most of them in there. Time to load them up, let them sit overnight, and move them in the morning. All right, finally, last move of the year. I'm not moving any more colonies this year. Brought my little helper out with me. She's going around pulling the feeder plugs. You missed one here? Right here. She wanted to get up early and come out and help me today. We also picked up the test colony, brought that over here. That was on the other side of that cornfield. So I'll let these hives sit here for about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. Let them orient to this new location. And then I'll do a video on transferring some over to 10 frame deeps, some 5/5 nucs. And I'm going to try to get a few through the winter and just a 5 frame nuc over at this yard. I really appreciate everybody watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and have a good day. Thank you. I'll help you. Go ahead. Good job.